My grandfather left me more than an old mountain estate. He left me an entire private lake and the hydroelectric dam that controlled it. While reviewing the inheritance papers, I noticed something strange along the shoreline. Hundreds of vacation cabins appeared where none were supposed to be. Inside my grandfather's study, I opened decades-old property maps and water right documents. Every record showed the lake, shoreline, and dam belonged entirely to our family trust. The cabins weren't mentioned anywhere. To be certain, I hired licensed surveyors and civil engineers to inspect the entire property. They verified every shoreline marker using GPS equipment. Their measurements matched the original records exactly. The engineers also completed a full inspection of the dam. They confirmed it had been professionally maintained for decades and continued operating under all required permits. Everything was functioning safely and normally. My attorney compared the survey with county land records and confirmed the same conclusion. The shoreline belonged to my family's estate, while the cabins had been built without a formal lease or recorded easement. We decided to contact the HOA before taking any further steps. My attorney sent a formal notice to the HOA requesting a meeting about the shoreline property. Certified copies of the deeds, surveys, and water right records were included. We wanted facts, not arguments, to lead the discussion. A week later, the HOA board agreed to meet inside their lakeside clubhouse. I arrived with my attorney, surveyors, and engineering reports. Everyone remained professional as the meeting began. The survey team presented detailed GPS maps showing the original shoreline boundaries. Every recorded marker matched the county records without exception. The room became noticeably quieter. Next, the dam engineer explained how the reservoir and shoreline had been managed for decades. Maintenance schedules, inspections, and operating permits were carefully documented. Everything had been handled according to established procedures. Linda requested additional time so the HOA's legal team could independently review the records. I agreed without hesitation because accurate information benefits everyone. The meeting ended respectfully. During the following weeks, independent attorneys and surveyors reviewed decades of public records. Every professional examination reached the same conclusion regarding ownership. The evidence remained consistent. County officials confirmed the legal shoreline boundaries and encouraged both parties to negotiate a long-term agreement. They emphasized cooperation and accurate documentation. Everyone appreciated the neutral guidance. Rather than creating unnecessary conflict, I proposed a formal shoreline lease that would allow continued use of the cabins under clear legal terms. The offer surprised many board members. They agreed to consider it carefully. The board thanked everyone for approaching the matter professionally. Homeowners expressed relief that the issue was being handled through communication rather than confrontation. The atmosphere became much more positive. Independent appraisers evaluated the shoreline and surrounding land to determine a fair market lease value. Detailed reports were prepared for both sides. Transparency helped everyone move forward. After several meetings, both sides agreed on a long-term lease recognizing my family's ownership while allowing the community to continue using the waterfront cabins. Every detail was documented in official contracts. The finalized agreements were recorded with the county recorder's office, creating a permanent public record. Future property owners would have complete clarity about the shoreline boundaries. Everyone left satisfied. I installed new shoreline markers and informational signs around the lake to match the official survey. The improvements blended naturally with the landscape, while making property lines easy to understand. Neighbors soon realized that clear property record protected both private ownership and community interests. Friendly conversations replaced uncertainty. Mutual respect continued to grow. Standing beside the lake at sunset, I reflected on my grandfather's advice to protect the land with honesty, patience, and good records. Careful documentation had resolved a complicated issue peacefully. The lake remained a place everyone could continue to enjoy responsibly. Several weeks after the agreement, county inspectors completed one final shoreline inspection. Every survey marker and recorded boundary matched perfectly. The file was officially closed with no remaining questions. The HOA updated every neighborhood property record using the new county filings. Homeowners appreciated having accurate information for future generations. Clear documentation removed all uncertainty. To celebrate the positive outcome, I invited several neighbors for a guided tour of the lake and dam. The engineer explained how the hydroelectric system safely operated year-round. Everyone left with a better understanding of the property. The following month, the community organized a Lakeside Appreciation Day. Families enjoyed fishing, kayaking, and scenic walks along approved public access areas. Respect for property brought everyone together. Attorney David Reynolds finalized every remaining legal document and stored certified copies with the county recorder. Future owners would always have a complete history of the property. Good records protect everyone. Over the next several months, I invested in restoring hiking trails, improving boat docks, and preserving wildlife habitat around the lake. The property looked better than ever. My grandfather's legacy continued to grow. Season after season, the lake remained peaceful and well-maintained. Friendly communication between the HOA and the estate prevented future misunderstandings. Cooperation became the new tradition. Visitors often admired how the preserved shoreline blended naturally with the surrounding forest. Responsible stewardship kept the landscape beautiful without sacrificing property rights. Everyone benefited from careful planning. Every sunrise reminded me why my grandfather had worked so hard to protect this land. Caring for the lake meant preserving something that would outlast all of us. That responsibility became my greatest reward. Looking back, I realized that patience, professional surveys, and respectful communication had solved a complicated property question. Facts mattered more than assumptions. The peaceful outcome benefited everyone involved.